My, oh my, we must have got it wrong. Falling skies, the storm is coming strong. No one is coming out of this unscathed. Who could be ready for these warring games? My, oh my, we must have got it wrong. The world is unraveling, unraveling. Such a mad, mad reckoning. The world's unraveling, the world is unraveling, unraveling. Such a mad, mad reckoning. The world's unraveling. Oh, 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 oh. My, oh my, we're in the final act. Can't fight the tide. The sea is turning black. No one is coming out of this unscathed. No one could be ready for these warring games. My, oh my, we must have got it wrong. The world is unraveling, unraveling. Such a mad, mad reckoning. The world's unraveling, the world is unraveling, unraveling. Such a mad, mad reckoning. The world's unraveling.
Good morning and welcome to the Boulder Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. I'm Paolo Sparti, today's service associate, and I'm joined by Lisa Moore, our intern minister, Tad Nimley-Coriath, our providing music, and our tech team, Mary Stackpole, Deborah Minch, Don Price on Zoom. And just in case you're wondering, anybody who is a service leader and unmasked has had a COVID test this morning. And of course, all of you. You are the ones that make up this beloved community. As I say the welcome words today, look around and gather in gallery mode or in person around the sanctuary and nurture the beautiful among us today. You are welcome here today in all the beauty of the languages, cultures, skin tones, shapes, and sizes that come together in your uniqueness. You are welcome here today. In all the ways you experience and express gender, you are welcome here. In the beauty that is who you love and how you love, you are welcome here. In all the ways you make your living and all the places you are from, you are welcome here. With all of the traditions that inform your spiritual life, you are welcome here today. No matter how long you are away, nor how soon you will return, you are welcome here. Whether you come with laughter in your heart or tears, you are welcome here. You are invited to join us with an open mind, a loving heart, and a willing hands. We welcome you today. We acknowledge that the land surrounding us is the stolen territory of the Arapaho people, and that many tribes roamed freely on this land for millennia before the arrival of white settlers. We commit ourselves to being the center for spiritual exploration and justice making, and to anti-racism and anti-oppression work within and beyond our congregation. If you are new here, we're glad you found us and hope that in this virtual community you can experience the warmth and love of this congregation. Each Sunday is a little different, so please come back a few times to really get to know us. We have many opportunities during the week for social connection and spiritual growth. Those on Zoom can check out the links that are going into the chat to help you get connected. Those in person can find our newcomer form on the QR code in the back of your hymnals, or stop by the welcome table in our foyer to get connected. Finally, if any new visitors on Zoom would like to introduce yourselves in the chat, please do so. We love to hear from you. Are there any visitors in the sanctuary today who would like to introduce yourselves, telling us your name and where you live?
Hi, my name is Peter Schmidt. I'm from Broomfield, and we had come here several times before the renovation, before COVID, and just back to see you all again. So
Welcome back.
my name is Peter Schmidt from Broomfield, and this is our second week back from revisiting after COVID, so happy to be back.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm David Barrett, and my wife Betsy. We're from Boulder, and I guess we're visiting back. This is the first time I've been able to come and be inside the new sanctuary and feel the life inside a space we worked very through difficult times with an amazing group in the community to design this. And so it's real joy to be in this space with all of you today and finally have it come to life. So thank you.
Welcome. All on Zoom are invited to a virtual coffee hour after the service, and those of us in the building are welcome to stay and grab some coffee and snacks in the fellowship hall. With COVID transmissions on the rise, we strongly encourage you to leave your mask on while in the fellowship hall and enjoy your coffee and conversation outdoors.
For those of you on Zoom, if you have a chalice where you're at, I invite you to light that with me as I light our fellowship chalice. And the words will be going into the chat, and I will hopefully say this very clearly so everybody can hear and join. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. And I am now going to I'll now ring our second bowl, inviting us into a moment of quiet reflection. Now we're going to have our joys and concerns. We're moving it up a little bit more toward the beginning of the service this time. because we also have candles if anybody wanted to light candles for those people that have been killed by hate and fear and the use of guns. But this is our time of sacred sharing, of joys and concerns. I have in the chat things that I will read. So if you're on Zoom and you'd like to share a joy or concern, just type it in the chat and I will read that and let everybody know briefly what is on your heart. I will read out loud what you share, and Paulo will add a stone to our sacred waters on your behalf. And if you are here at the fellowship, you are welcome to come and up and put a stone in, and if you would like to do that silently, you can, or if you would like to say something briefly and let us know what is on your heart. Beautiful souls, this is a time for remembering. We remember the over 1.3 million military members who sacrificed their lives in order to maintain the aspirational values of this country. Some were our family and friends. We lament the needless loss of lives brought on by fear, hate, and ignorance, and facilitated by guns and lack of protective laws to help prevent the devastation. We grieve together the loss of friends. We have concerns for family and prayers for recovery and healing. And even in sorrow, we can have moments of joy and possibility, anniversaries and birthdays and visits with family, work towards recovering languages that are almost lost. Beloveds, I pray for peace, and I also acknowledge sometimes that my prayers are not enough. I hope and pray that grace abides with you during any time that you walk or move in this world, whether it be in joy or sadness. May you all experience the best of all possible outcomes. Amen, and blessed be.
Oh, beloveds, there's just so much above us, below us, all around us. It would be easy to succumb to that grief and just wallow. But if the Arapaho people can find some hope after centuries of marginalization, then so must we. If elementary school kids can show up at school every day because it is their right to learn, so can we carry that seed of hope. We have a little bit of hymnal etiquette for you as we continue to find ourselves in our new spiritual home. If you're seated in the front row this morning, your hymnals are on your chair. If you are in any other row, your hymnals are on the chair in front of you. So you need only lean forward to grab your gray hymnal, where we will sing number 396, I Know This Rose Will Open. If you've got a hymnal at home, please join us singing number 396, I Know This Rose Will Open. It's our spiritual calling to carry that hope forward. Please rise in body or in spirit.
And we'll sing it all together first. And then we'll divide the room into 3 parts. We'll sing it in a 3-part round, so you can just pick one of us to follow. All right? Ready? I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. One more time. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open.
I am discreet at work about telling people I'm transgender. I don't consider this lying. It could be a safety concern. It's kind of private. And it's really nice to sometimes just be one of the guys. Also, it's not exactly something you bring up while you're weeding or mulching a shrub bed. But that leads to some awkward moments, like the one last week where a coworker and I got into a discussion about politics, and trans rights came up. And again, I hear the same old tired lies. It goes something like, but the children. The trans community suicide rate, it doesn't go down if people transition. Well, we don't really know if transition actually helps anybody. Yes, we do. I do. I know it intimately, I want to scream. But that would mean coming out in a heated debate with someone I already know is consuming anti-trans media. Not such a great idea. So in this awkward moment, I try to be the best ally I can be, which is harder than you think when you're driving an F-350 dump bed. How do I fight these false claims without admitting I'm trans, going into a rage, or having access to any of the data that I know is out there? I say something along the lines of, that is absolutely false. I don't know who told you that, but they were lying to you. Since I do have resources available now, I will share a few of the most recent findings with you. A survey of trans people in the UK found that a completed medical transition was shown to greatly reduce rates of suicidal ideation and attempts in contrast to those at other stages of transition, imminently transitioning or beginning transition. 67% of transitioning people thought more about suicide before transitioning, whereas only 3% thought about suicide more after transition. Bailey et al., 2014. And a new study published April 28, 2021 in JAMA Surgery found that gender-affirming surgery is associated with improved mental health outcomes among transgender people. The study was authored by researchers at Harvard Medical School, Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, the Fenway Institute at Fenway Health, and the Department of Psychiatry, Mass General Hospital. It is the first large-scale controlled study to demonstrate an association between gender-affirming surgery and improved mental health outcomes, and adds important new knowledge to the field as there is little high-quality evidence regarding the mental health effects of gender-affirming surgery, from fenwayhealth.org. And it's actually pretty easy to explain these science anti-trans opinions. There were some older studies that found no decrease in suicide rate. However, if you take the time to read the studies, you find a few problems. Most of them are only discussing surgeries, not transition. We don't see the data from before any steps were taken, just before surgeries. Second, there isn't much discussion on trans outcomes for those that do continue to attempt or actually take their life. Were the surgical outcomes good? Did the person have support and acceptance? Had they reached their personal transition goals? 3, the overall stigma and hardship transgender people face doesn't go away because you get new parts. I can't even begin to tell you how disheartening it is to have taken testosterone for 5 years, have completed top surgery, and still get misgendered. Or to be rejected repeatedly by potential partners as soon as they find out about my transness. Okay, so not to be all doom and gloom, I want to tell you a little about my personal experience. After I began taking testosterone, I noticed some long-term positive changes. Things became intensely difficult as I came out to friends, family, and coworkers. I noticed I was happier. My mood was more stable. And as time went on, I began to notice symptoms of a mood disorder I had had since I was 9 years old completely disappeared. Now, I still have mental health challenges. Don't get me wrong about that. My anxiety disorder is working overtime. But the extreme mood variability, the daily suicidal ideation, the feelings of needing to kill myself after every bump in the road, they just left. I spent nearly 25 years believing that recovery wasn't real, that you only coped with mental health. But testosterone made remission possible for me. And before you think it was all in my head, or that it was all about being perceived as male, I will tell you that last September, I came off of testosterone in order to get some medical treatments. And once my T levels dropped, my mood disorder symptoms came back. I have a great medical team, and that's helping me cope with this. But yes, testosterone appears to work, for me, better than any antidepressant I have ever tried. And I've tried a lot. I'd think that this was all about testosterone and how it works, if I hadn't heard the same exact thing from trans women. One of the most common ideas that gets trotted out to scare people and make access to surgery difficult is that people will regret their surgeries. And maybe it happens. But I've never seen it happen the way it's portrayed in the media. I've never met anyone that missed their old parts. I have surgery regrets. But they're about the type of surgery I chose. And the fact that my insurance has denied my revision requests. I regret that my surgery didn't make me have a more masculine appearance. But I have never once wished for my old chest back. I've seen people regret complications, graft failures, poor outcomes of all sorts. But I haven't run across anyone who missed their old body. So why am I telling you this? because it shows how misrepresentation of facts can skew people's perceptions, that relying on studies without looking deeper into them can create a false narrative. Many of the people that hear these things think they're hearing facts. They think they're doing their research. We need to figure out how we can counter this sort of misrepresentation and misinformation with understanding and compassion. We have to have uncomfortable conversations. We have to center the voices of marginalized people, even over hard science. And I'll leave you with a poignant quote from the late Sir Terry Pratchett's book titled The Truth. "And which one is this," he said, "the truth that is so precious it must be protected by a bodyguard of lies? The truth that is stranger than fiction? Or the truth that is still putting its boots on while a lie is running around the world?" He stopped, red-faced and panting. "Well, the truth has got its boots on," he said, "and it's going to start kicking."
Thank you, Paolo, for sharing your beautiful, fearless truth with us. We have chosen a song that speaks to the themes of the day and the fact that all of us have places where we could be more bold about telling the truth. And so it calls us to look with clarity at those places in ourselves. Where are we holding rigid to beliefs that discount the humanity of others? Where can we be kinder to ourselves? And how can we each live our truth with a little more depth? How did I get here standing in a mess that I have made? Ooh, oh, little by little, adding to the chaos every day. Oh, I know it's time to come clean. I know it's time to come clean. Boxes full of things I've shuffled and shifted place to place. Ooh, all the years of me, everything I want to keep and throw away. Oh, I know it's time to come clean. Yeah, I know it's time to come clean. I empty out the pieces and I put them where they go. Where do they go? Where do they go? Does anything in me know? Where do they go? I'm finding what I've covered and holding it up to the morning light. Ooh, I'm opening my life a little at a time, and it's all right. Whoa, 'cause it takes time to come clean. Yeah, and I know it's time to come clean. I'm picking up the pieces and I put them where they go. But where do they go? Where do they go? Where do they go? Where do they the pieces. So where do they go? Where do they go? I wanna know just where do they go? Where do they go? Because I need to know just where do they go? Where do they go? Where do they go? Will I ever know?
Last autumn, I offered a sermon as an auction item. Scott Humans had the winning bid, an idea and a title, The Price of Lying. Definitely not something I would have thought of. And somewhere between my thought of what am I going to say about this, I realized, and today, somewhere between there, I realized that I could stretch this topic about lying into a whole series of sermons. So thank you, Scott. The reason this could become a series is that there are so many types of lies. From the seemingly benign little white lie, and don't even get me started on the name of that. We have lies for self-preservation, lies we tell ourselves, lies of omission. There's even honest lying, where someone is really sincerely thinks they're telling the truth, but for a variety of reasons, some of it might be mental health issues, or some of it might be misinformation that they have. What they are saying is not true. As we move across the lying spectrum, we find ourselves in the lies people tell to gain power and profit, and the massive societal lies of white supremacy culture, colonialism, and manifest destiny. And there is an overlap in all of these types of lies, increasing the difficulty in finding any semblance of truth. I want to be clear, too, that there's a difference between truth and facts. Now, a fact is that 2 + 2 = 4. And that's also true. But not all truths are facts. I notice that when I think of something that is true to me, I find that I have a lot more emotion around it. There's a little bit more of a spiritual investment. And there is this lie that goes back to the beginning of humanity. It is a lie of fear and lack and othering. These lies can be witnessed in the fledgling Christianity movement and as Christianity spread through the Roman Empire. One learns that there is a chasm of difference between the teachings of Jesus and how some, not all, but some, current Christians view and practice Christianity today. Fast forward to today, and post-colonialism, Jim Crow, there is so much similarity to our present day situation and Roman imperialism in the ancient world. And there's a lot of liminal space with lying as well, because somebody can be given a set of facts, and different people can find different things that they value as true in those facts. And also within even science, as we gain more knowledge and more information, we find that things change. And some people might hold on to old ideas of what the facts and truth were. So we need to be aware of that as we look and research and delve into what information is true and factual, and what information we hold on to as a truth, but might not be real. Not wrong, but just maybe not real. To me, the biggest lie is the lie of othering, of saying somebody just because of how they act, move, or appear in this world means that they are not part of my shared experience or my connection in this world, that they are different and maybe possibly not worthy. And that is a lie that I abhor. We need to be aware of that, because even in our progressive liberal states, we can sometimes do that. So what is the cost of lying? Even at the most basic or simple lie, there is a lost chance of communication. And I look at the cliche of, how do I look in this? I need, on my own part, if I'm going to ask that question, to be ready for an honest answer. And if if a friend tells me something that they think I want to hear, oh, you look great, when really I might not, then there's a loss of trust in saying that maybe I can't trust this person to be honest with me. If they tell me something in the moment that might feel a little uncomfortable for me to hear, like, that dress does not look good on you, I know that I can come to them later on something maybe a little bit more difficult and deeper and have a conversation, and I am more likely to trust what they tell me. Paulo talks about the misrepresentation of facts. And how we move and how we have communications and conversations about that, to say, hey, you might have read that. It's old information. Things have changed, or that's not true. And for a lot of people, they're not available. They can't say that because they have a deep concern for self-preservation. And that's legit. And as somebody who might not have that worry, I can speak that. I can say that. Maybe not in the moment, but I can say it in other places. What is the cost? What is the price of lying? It is a distrust of our government, our healthcare system, our food sources, our religious and spiritual leaders, and our educational system. The price of lying is the never-ending names of people who have died because of the color of their skin. The price of lying is mass shootings because of conspiracy theories or unattended mental illness, a lack of gun control, lost lives of children. And I want to be clear that this is lost relationships. Because sometimes in a lie, we can view a person as a commodity, as a unit of energy, of resource, instead of the relationship and interaction that we have with them. There's no monetary price that can be put on the cost of lying. There's no way to value, in a monetary sense, the lost potential of people who did not have a chance to become their full potential. So what can we do about it? I mean, some of this kind of feels insurmountable. We're trying to fix a broken system with a broken system. Notice. Pay attention. Notice where the real facts are. Try to keep recent on research. Jot things down and realize that they can change. But in the moment, they might be an actual fact. And not everybody has to do all the work. We can come together in community and have conversations about this. I read this. Did you read that? No, but this is what I read. How do you feel about that? What's your truth around these facts? Speak our truth. Every person has worth. Every person has dignity. Every person should be and is loved as they are, perfectly imperfect, flawed, whole, and holy. That is my truth. Be honest about the facts. And it can be hard work to dismantle a broken system with a broken system and trying to have something that is more truthful and more whole and safe and peaceful. Before you tell somebody, they look just fine in that outfit, even if you don't think so. Think of maybe the long-term impact and find a way to honestly say what your thoughts or opinions are with compassion. Because it's practice. I was reading that there is, in a normal day, somebody lies 143 times in conversations throughout the day, just little things here and there. What would that be like if we didn't do that, if we could always be honest? And I'm talking about adults. I mean, I know children, we have to kind of parse out truths as appropriate. Again, there's self-preservation, there's a lot of different things, and it's all interconnected. But creating that awareness of the cost of lying and working to be more honest with ourselves and those around us can help budge toward a more beloved community worldwide. I don't have the answers on how to break or how to fix a broken system. It takes a lot of us. But we can do it. We can come together honestly and with love and compassion to hopefully build something where the cost of lying is zero. Amen, and blessed be.
Our next hymn fits beautifully with today's themes. It's number 119 in the gray hymnal. Tad recognized, though, that it might not be familiar to all of our ears, so he will play it once through so that you can get that all in your mind. Again, it is 119 in your gray hymnal. We are constantly scanning our sacred texts for ableist language, and so on the third line in the first verse, we will side with truth, because it doesn't matter if you can stand or not. And in the last line of the second verse, the coward will move aside. And if you forget, that's okay. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing hymn number 119. To every soul and nation comes the moment to decide in the strife of truth with falsehood for the good or evil side. Then to side with truth is noble when we its wretched crust, ere that cause bring fame and profit, and 'tis prosperous to be just. Though the cause of evil prosper, yet 'tis truth alone is strong. Though its portion be the scaffold, and upon the throne be wrong, then it is the brave one chooses, while the coward moves aside, till the multitude make virtue of the faith they have denied. Well done.
Each week, we remind ourselves of the abundance of our lives and this community by giving half of our plate away to those organizations that share our values. The half plate recipients for our service today will be Together Colorado, the statewide interfaith multiracial organization coalition of which BVUUF is a contributing member. Our Boulder Valley Community Action Network, BVCAN, team works closely with Together Colorado towards more equitable policies which benefit everyone, so Coloradans have access to the services, resources, and support they need to live their healthiest lives. Taking direction from one-on-one meetings with individuals in our congregation and the community, Together Colorado and BVCAN continue to work tirelessly to bring access and affordability to mental health care for all ages in our area. To learn more about Together Colorado, go to togethercolorado.org. You can text your donation at the number on the screen, or if you are in the fellowship today, place a donation in the offering plate as it passes. Please give generously as you so often do. As our musical reflections begin, we invite you to write in the chat your answer to this question: what has a lie cost you?
for the work of this fellowship, bringing love, reason, and compassion and justice to this world. And for Together Colorado, we dedicate our offerings. I have a few announcements today. And the first one is from Karen, who I'm going to step aside and go take my mask off while she does hers.
For anyone who may not know me, I am Karen Griglack, and I am the current coordinator of our service associates. And if you've attended more than a couple of services in this fellowship, you have most likely figured out that we do have a minister that steers our ship, but she doesn't do this alone. We minister as a community, bringing our different lived experiences, spiritual practices, and our general us to these services so that we can expand all of these things in each other. In order to do that, we need your help. We need your curiosity and your passions in our group to share that with the congregation. Being a service associate has taught me so much more about me and learning to be a better version of me. It's helped me restore confidence that I didn't even realize was slowly eroding. And with each hiccup along the way, and believe me, we have hiccups, it has reminded me how beautiful imperfection is. So please, if you have ever thought about being a service associate, now is the time to give it a try, for many hands make for light work. Now, you might be scared that you have absolutely no idea how Paulo or what Mary and I did 2 weeks ago and how we do this. Don't worry, we will help you and we will train you. So if you have any questions, come chat with me after the service. If you have questions, you can email me, you can call me. I know, strange concept, right? I look forward to working with each of you, and please, give it a try. It's a lot easier than you might think it is. Thank you.
Yeah, service associates are definitely a place where it's the more the merrier. Additional announcements. After the service, please help out the hospitality folks by making sure that the hymnals are picked up and you've put things back to rights for the next folks who will be coming in to use the room. We appreciate it. Also, we have a big weekend coming up next week. Everyone is invited to join us for the annual meeting on Saturday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It will be multi-platform here in the sanctuary and on our Sunday morning Zoom link for those that are on Zoom right now, or anybody who might have to attend later by Zoom. Unfortunately, due to the rising COVID transmissions in Boulder County, the potluck before the meeting has been canceled. Rats. Next Sunday, June 5th, is our annual flower ceremony. It will be all ages. Bring a flower to add to our common vases for this uniquely Unitarian Universalist ritual. There will also be a chat with the minister next Sunday as well, following the service. Visitors and newcomers are invited to meet with Reverend Lydia and learn more about Unitarian Universalism and the Boulder Valley Fellowship. We'll meet at the welcome desk following the service and then go to the Mountain View room. And that is
And now we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, nor the energy of action. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again.
The benediction today is by Mark Mosher de Wolf. With what benediction shall I leave you? This. In your life, may you know the holy meaning, the mystery that breaks into every moment. May you live at peace with your world and at peace with yourself. And may the love of truth guide you in your every day. Amen.
Our closing hymn today is a beautiful jewel from the Teal Hymnal, number 1058. Tad will play it once through, and then we'll sing it twice together because it's so short it just needs more savoring. 1058 in the Teal Hymnal, Be Ours, a Religion. Please rise in body or in spirit. Be ours a religion which like sunshine goes everywhere, its temple all space.